thank goodness he has a job and he could help me fund the recording. But it's like, okay, so we're $20,000 in from recording this record. But then you have to spend more money to promote it. Otherwise, like,
so I saw that
you
wrote about that in a social media post, or maybe it was on your funding page for your album. I don't know where, but I thought, wow, that's really smart. And I've never thought about it that way. Like, I've always just made a record, and like you said, you invest all of this time and all this money into it. And then I'm always just like, okay, I'll just share it with my people. And I have a strategy, but I never back it with money. Like, I've never done really, any ads or financially promoted things. So when you said that, I'm like, oh, she's smart. This is smart. Because what's the point of why spend all that money and make all this music if you don't know how to get people to hear it, or like if people aren't going to hear it?
Right. So. Yeah. It's like gambling, Katie. You just got to go all in.
Yeah.
No, I don't give you that. I hate gambling. but sometimes that's what it feels like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you're just like throwing energy and heart and soul and money into this thing, hoping that it has the impact that you want.
Right. Ken is here and Chris is here. Hey guys. Ken and Chris are here every week.
Hi.
So I would just like to mention now, and I'll probably say it myriad times for the remainder of our stream, I am so stinking excited to get to know you, Katie Dobbins.
Me too.
I don't know, hold on, I got to put up your name here.
I'm not being rude. I'm just sharing this to my personal page.
So Katie and I have a mutual friend in John Shea from WATD FM. Hi, Amanda. And John Shea, every time I talk to him, he mentions Katie Dobbins. Katie Dobbins. Hi, Patrick. And apparently Katie was saying he does the same to her with me, but we've never actually met before. Hi, Paul. And so this is just so exciting to meet on the internet and hear you. And I just, I've got to tell you that what you put out into the world via social media, which is the only way I've ever known you, is just so genuine, and you just seem so delightful.
Aww,
you just put out happiness. That's your aura.
I feel the exact same about you. I've watched some of your other shows from your virtual world tour that you've been doing, and I'm like, she's so positive, and just your messaging is so great. And literally, I was watching part of one earlier today, and I was like, I feel like her and I have a lot in common. So I'm super excited to get to know you also.
And, it's funny, too, sometimes I'll be in, the sound check before the show with an artist, and I'll get this feeling conversation's gonna be awkward. I instantly knew it wouldn't be with you.
I like chatting, so my only problem right now is I'm having trouble figuring out how to share this because, like we talked about, I can be a little technologically not savvy.
That's okay. So we're here, and I totally forgot to mention that my guest usually plays the first song. But I
know that because I did my research, so
Good.
I'm prepared.
You are smart. And Ken is thinking this should be a happy fest tonight, and I'm feeling that way too, Ken. I think this is going to be just a smile festival. I should have called this the Smile Festival with Katie and Grace. Why in the heck didn't I?
I love that. Well, we can play together again, and we can do a Smile Festival.
I love that. Great. I am completely on board here. My friend Dave says hi.
Hi.
So Dave has been working on trying to walk because he's been in a wheelchair. David, do you have any updates on how many steps you've been able to take? Any updates? Hi, Dan. So, everyone, welcome to my virtual world tour. My name is Grace Morrison, and I do this every Monday night. This is me. And I just am so excited. I'm just killing time while Katie shares.
I figured it out.
But I am super excited to let everybody know that the first single from my upcoming album is being reviewed tomorrow on The Boot. So take a moment tomorrow and check out my Facebook page. And my CDs are here. And if you are interested, you can pre-order them on my website. It's going to help pay for all of the publicity that Katie and I were just talking about.
That's beautiful. Don't you love seeing them? It's so nerve-wracking. Yes. Do you get nervous when you open the box that it comes in? You're like, did I upload everything right? Is it actually going to have my picture on the cover? Yep. Is the CD in there?
Yeah. No, number one fear is typos. I triple check it quadruple check it before I send it out, and then I get the CD, and I'm like, oh my god, something's gonna be wrong in here, but it isn't. Nothing is wrong in here.
Yay.
And it looks like candy to me. That's what I was going for.
I love how colorful it is. It's beautiful.
Candy. So Katie Dobbins, will you play us a song?
I would love to play you a song.
Yay.
So I thought it would be fitting to open with the opening track from my most recent album, There Is Light, and I'm just going to switch microphones real quick. So I put this record out in 2019, and yeah, this is a song called Photograph the Stars. It's one of those nights, so dark outside. I wish I could hide, but thank God for the moon. Oh, I wish that you could see this. Every time I try to photograph the stars, I'm left with nothing but a picture of the darkness. Seems the only way to capture the light is to look with my own eyes, hold it in my mind. I invite you to come, I invite you to come and see this. It's one of those nights, my dreams burn so bright. I'm feeling inspired by this moon. Oh, I wish that you could see this. Every time I try to photograph the stars, I'm left with nothing but a picture of the darkness. Seems the only way to capture the light is to look with my own eyes, hold it in my mind. I invite you to come, I invite you to come and share this. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light, it burns so bright. Come see this light. Every time I try to photograph these stars, I'm left with nothing but a picture of the dark. The only way to capture these lights is to look with my own eyes, hold it in my mind. I invite you to come, I invite you to come.
You just made me cry with such a happy song. That was so
What?
beautiful. I know, it's the mom thing. It's totally a
Oh
mom
my
thing
gosh.
because it's so true. Like there's all these moments with my son and I think like take a picture. And then I realize I'm sucked into my phone and I'm not in that moment appreciating him in that moment, you know, and it's just
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you got it. That's what the song's about, because it's like, and really it's also just about, you try to capture that, like you can't explain, I'm sure, to anyone adequately those special moments that you have with your son and just how impactful they are for you. And like, you can explain it and you can talk about it, but it's never going to hit them the same way that it hits you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, there's so many things in life that are like that. Like, you just have to experience it yourself. And then, like you said, I'm always thinking about, am I present right now? Especially lately, especially right now, coming out of a world of social media and online and virtual life.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, how do I be present? You know, and I love this space. Like, I love the virtual space, and I love showing up for it and being present. And I've actually found beautiful community doing that. So it's like so great. But then also, how do you also be present in your natural everyday surroundings? So.
Yeah, and it's also the other thing I was thinking about too is, remember, like before the iPhone and you'd have a roll of film. Like when I was 12 and 13, my brother bought me this camera and I took pictures of everything. And you're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. But then, 2 weeks later, you get the film back and you're like, that's not what it looked like. That's not what that moment was.
And sometimes you got such great photos though, because you didn't have all of the editing software and the ability to get the perfect photo, so you would just like snap random stuff. So like you said, half of the roll would be terrible, but then you get these really special moments that I don't get anymore, because I don't just take like random photos. I take a good photo. I take an Instagram worthy photo, I
kind of miss it though. I think my heyday with my phone. Hey Tim. Oh, my friend Tim, do you know the song Listen to Your Heart? Listen to your heart.
Yes.
That's a great idea, Tim. Thank you.
I love that song.
All right, so my heyday with the camera, and I wonder if anyone else is guilty of this. Please make me feel less alone. So when I was in the 8th grade, I hope Ian watches this and hears me say this. I loved this guy named Ian because he was the only boy in the 8th grade with a full beard. Like, he was a man, and I loved him.
Amazing.
And so on the 8th grade trip to Washington, every single picture I took of like every monument, me and my friends, he was always strategically in the background. Like, Ian was just stalking him with my camera that whole time. I think one of these days I should present him with the photos.
Does he know, like, or is he going to find out if he watches this video?
I am sure he knew at the time that I didn't really make a secret. Like,
hey, there's that girl taking a photo of this
there's
building
Grace,
that I'm in
and
front
she's
of
obsessed
again.
with me. I know. Oh my God, but he was a real man. And then Tim's watching, and then I loved Tim Pickett, also had a beard. I did the same thing to poor Tim. Anywho, cameras and pictures. Okay, I'm gonna play a song that sounds really happy. But when we filmed the video for it a couple weeks ago, it was like this super emotional roller coaster, because the song was about me growing up. And so we visited all these places that meant a lot to me growing up that I hadn't visited in a long time, because we lost our house and because my dad passed on, and they had been like difficult places for me to go to, but I wanted to capture them for the song. I'm just about emotionally recovered.
Wow.
I know.
That must have been like so many different emotions, like happy, sad, talk about just... That reminds me of Casey Musgrave's song, Happy and Sad at the Same Time, or whatever it's called.
What album is that on? I love Casey Musgraves.
It's on her most recent one.
Golden Hour? I will.
Yes,
I have that on vinyl. I will go and
Yeah.
deep dive that song. And Tim and I were actually just talking earlier, because I told him after that video shoot, like, my whole dream in my life is to vindicate my dad and buy our house back. And he's like, well, why don't you? And I said, well, because it's not for sale. And he said, everything has a price. And so in my mind, it's like, okay, if I get $1 million, I'm going to go buy my house back. So I wonder if anyone watching, or if you, Katie, have any thoughts. Like, is there a home that you no longer have? And, like, what would you pay to get it back? Like, because in my mind, in my crazy person mind right now, like, there's no number I wouldn't pay if I could. Do you ever have that feeling?
Well, first of all, I love that phrase, because my dad always says that. Like, well, everything, because people will ask him, oh, are you ever going to sell X, Y, Z? And he's like, well... everything, could be for sale for the right price.
Right.
So
$2 million.
Yeah. I mean, if you approached me and you really wanted something bad enough, yeah. I mean, I feel really fortunate, because we still live in we moved when I was in the third or fourth grade ish. But this house that I'm actually living in now, up in New Hampshire, is kind of what I consider to be my childhood home. But if we lost it and then I had the opportunity to get it back, Yeah, I mean, I can totally relate to that feeling and just wanting, or I think of instruments too. Like I have the guitar that I play right now, actually not the one that I'm going to play tonight, but the one that I write a lot of songs on is a Taylor guitar that my dad gave me that he had custom made when he was younger. And then when I got into music, he was like, here, like I want you to have this, you know, and so it means a lot to me. It's so special. And if I ever lost that, right, or if I ever had to get rid of that and then I had to reacquire it, I can totally relate to like, I'll do anything, and but it all depends on how much. That's why we have to get rich, Grace. You know.
Yeah,
so
well, that's the basic plan. That's step one. Step one. I haven't really formulated how I'm going to do that. But step one, and then I'm going to dress up like Dr. Evil, and I'm going to approach the current owners of the home and say $1 million, and I think that's all it's going to take. I really feel it in my soul.
I can see it happening. I think it's going to happen.
All right, I'm going to, this song, my poor video director, this is a long song. It's like 4.5 minutes long. And there is a radio edit. And we got to the day of filming and it was so hot out and his camera was so heavy. And he's like, oh man, this is a long song. And I joked, I was like, I should have given you the radio edit. And he's like, what? There's a radio edit? He was so mad at me. I'm going to do the radio edit tonight though. So let's see here. If you are interested in supporting my new album, it's just all on gracemorrison.com. Instead of doing a Kickstarter, I just did it through my own website. And this is the title track. When I was young, I was the good Lord's daughter. Didn't do nothing that would stir the water. Hair and pigtails and my saddle shoes lace. You could read my heart by the smile on my face. Oh, dream long and slow, but it told me nothing about the way things go. Now I'm racing against the clock and wondering when I'll to those old blue jeans. I know my heart, I know myself, I love my life, but I don't know what any of it means. So I spend another day, put another suitcase down, and say, Daddy, you were right, Daddy, you were right again. Someone to hold me, somebody to miss me. 'Cause in my mind it was the end of the story. It was lovely, man, and it was holy. Oh, dream long and slow, but it told me nothing about the way things go. Now I'm racing against the clock and wondering when I'll ever fit into those old blue jeans. I know my heart, I know myself, I love my life, but I don't know what any of it means. And so I'll spend another day, put another suitcase down, and say, Daddy, you were right, Daddy, you were right again. Oh, When I was young, I was the good Lord's daughter.
That was amazing.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see the video for that. That's going to be so powerful and so like special. I love that you made it so personal and went back to all those places.
it was funny. Like we had so many different ideas for the video, and then I just had to, and which is interesting because the song is about like dropping your emotional baggage. Thank you, Marcia. And I have not dropped my emotional baggage. I want my house back. Thank you. So here's an insider tip in case anyone watches the video. I got on day one, the first shot we did was in this big field, and I'm very fair and I'm very on top of my sunblock. I swear to God I am. And all night before we shot the video, I'm like, sunblock, 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 right? And then we get up on that morning, and it's a little cloudy out, and then we're all of a sudden in a rush to get everywhere, and I forgot the sunblock. And
Oh, no.
I got the worst sunburn on planet Earth. It was so bad. It matched my red dress. And so I think that most of the editing he did was trying to tone down the sunburn, but you can totally see it in every shot that isn't me in a field. It's really bad. Anyway.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It was so bad. It was me being stupid. Like, I know to wear sunblock.
Yeah, but you have so much on your mind also. I mean, so much goes into like making something creative, whether it's you're in the studio working on a song or you're making a video. Like, what am I wearing? Do I have on my makeup? How am I doing my hair? Where are we going? Is like, do we have everything timed up? Like, there's so much on your mind. So
Lunch was
I
on
totally
my
understand. Right. What am I going to eat? Do I have enough water? I'm always
know.
like, do I have enough things to drink? I'm going to get thirsty. I always have way more fluids than I need.
Well, it's because you're a singer and you are smart.
Right. Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know if I'm smart, but I am a singer.
I think you're smart. Yeah, it's funny too about like the what I'm gonna wear thing. That was a huge stress for this video because fashion has always stressed me out because my body is not, what we're told it's supposed to be.
Your body is beautiful.
It is. But like for a long time they didn't make clothes that fit it right, and so it's like this stressor in my brain. And the dress we had to pin me into it, and it was very uncomfortable. I'm never wearing it again. So if anyone wants a size 10 red prom dress, I'm your girl. I'll give it to you. It had 13 ticks in it.
Oh my God. Ticks are so bad this year. I know. Where I live right now in New Hampshire, it's like, fields all around the house and then woods. So it's like every time we go outside, it's like, check yourself for ticks. But was it one outfit or did you do outfit changes? Or?
No, just the one. Just to the one huge poofy prom dress in the hot blazing sun.
It's always tough too because you feel like, I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes I feel like I look so good. I'm like, oh man, I'm rocking this. I look so good right now. And then I watch the footage back and I'm like, who is that?
Yep.
What?
I can feel that.
Everyone's like, you look gorgeous. And you're like, no, I don't. And it's just your perception. It's so.
Right, because in your head it was one thing and then you see it and it's not that thing.
And that's why we need all of you people who come to these things and encourage us and leave your nice comments and tell us how wonderful we are. Because in our minds, we're like, oh my God, is it good? Is it bad? Do I look good? Do I look bad?
Yes. It's so true. I always tell my husband, like, I'm so sorry that you want to be honest with me. Please don't give me great, honest feedback. Just tell me I'm great every time. Like, I don't really want your feedback.
It's really nice of you to be that honest with him. I'm sure he appreciates that.
Oh my goodness, it's a whole thing with us.
I love that.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with me and Katie Dobbins as we get to know each other because I've been wanting to get to know Katie Dobbins for a long time.
Thank you so much for having me, Grace, because I've been wanting to play with you for a long time. And when you messaged me, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do something with Grace, finally.
John Shea says that we're both amazing and beautiful, and so does Dan Dawson. So thank you.
See, we need you guys. We need you.
Yes, just layer it on. There's can't be too much of this. You just keep it coming.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So you're in the Star, you have a name for where you're streaming? Starlight?
Yes, so I named my Patreon page is what it is. So we both have Patreons, Grace and I. So a lot of people who are tuning in are patrons of mine. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys are here. And Grace also has a page. So if you like if you like supporting music, Grace would be a wonderful choice. She's working on a new album. And so I'm sure you're going to do a lot of fun stuff on your Patreon page related to that. But yeah, it's a Patreon, and I launched it at the end of March. And I called it the Starlight Lounge because you can't see it in my video right now, but I have a recording sign that I've had since I was in high school that family friends made for me because I always was so into music, and they made me this sign for my little home studio that I had set up, and it said Starlight Recording Studio. And I found it a couple years ago, and I was like, this is actually a really cool sign. And so, but I didn't know what to do with it. And then so being home this past year and then deciding to go into full-time music and then setting up the home studio again, but, you know, updated in this home, I brought back the sign and I was like, oh, Starlight. And so then when I relaunched the Patreon page, I decided to keep with the theme.
Love it.
So the Starlight Lounge is basically the financial backing and support of things that come out of the Starlight recording studio, which is
Love
my
it.
home studio. So yeah.
That's so cool. You're so cool.
You're cool.
What are you going to play for me? For us.
I'm nervous because when you were talking about home and everything, I knew that I had to play a song I wrote called Home Without Walls, but I didn't practice it, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna try.
I'll do one that I don't know how to play after that. It'll even out.
Oh, I love that. Okay, cool. You bring light into my world. You bring light into my world, and I'll never let it go. They say nothing lasts forever, and that's just how it goes. But love can't be measured, so I have hope. 'Cause you built me a home. You built me a home. You built me a home with no walls, meant for keeping me in. There's no roof to stop me from soaring. There's no locks on these doors, they are always open, and this foundation is firm in my bones. You built me a home. You built me a home. And when I'm alone, I'm not alone. I'm never alone. 'Cause you built me a home with no shade, so the sun always shines, and there's no insulation. Our warmth is inside. There's one thing you made sure of, that's that we always have light. We have light in this home. Light in this home. And when we have nothing, well, we still have everything. No, there's no such thing as nothing in this home. 'Cause you built me a home with no borders, no property lines. There's no taxes we owe on this beautiful life. And if home's where the heart is, thank you for living in mine. 'Cause I love this home. I love this home.
I love that. Love that. And it brought me back to what we were talking about before. And look, Ty the sound guy and Diggs on Twitch. Hey guys. And Ken said that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And Dawn,
thank you.
Yeah, yes.
That's so nice. Hey, Dawn.
Whenever I think about, like, I would play millions of dollars for my childhood home, the thing I keep trying to remind myself is that, like, the thing I'm looking for isn't there anymore because my family isn't there anymore, you know. And it's like that thing in my head, like, if I could just be there, then I would feel that again. And that's not the case, right? Like it might, like, do you think it would be more sad in a way because it's not the same? Like, yeah,
sometimes I wonder, because I always feel that way too. And I write a lot of nostalgic songs, and I love reminiscing about the past. And I always miss the past. Like, even when I love, like your song, even when I love my life and I'm happy, I'm always like longing for the past simultaneously. And it's this really weird tension that I feel like I just live in. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, what if I actually could go back? Would it ruin it?
I think we're the same person, maybe. Because I was thinking about that last night, like, oh man, if I only had a time machine, but no, like I don't think. I think it would just be. I think it would be really sad. I don't know that I could go in that house again because it's changed. You know, they updated it, and my dad died. My dad passed away in 2016. You know, and I think that's really the thing that makes it harder. You know.
Yeah.
Human beings and their emotions. God damn it! I'm gonna take
us.
That's
why we write songs.
It's true, and I'm gonna take us real down. Like we promised a happy festival. I'm gonna give you my most depressing song, but then I'll be happy the rest of the night. I promise. And I don't actually know that I know how to play this one all the way. I wrote it a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna preface this with saying that I was given permission to say this. I made very, very sure. But someone that I love that is very close to me has been battling an eating disorder for the past year. And just today, we brought them to a residential facility, which is like relief and simultaneous terror, you know, because you're just like letting go and hope, you know. So, but watching this struggle with an eating disorder is so much like addictions, you know, like alcoholism and other addictions. It's just so similar. And you know, it's just so hard to watch someone that you love self-destruct. And there's nothing you can do. And I'm a fixer. Katie, I want to fix things, and I couldn't fix it.
And so I wrote, like, what if I love you hard enough? Like, if I love you hard enough, will you love yourself? And it just, unfortunately, doesn't work that way. It's really hard.
Do you watch the Goldbergs? Does anyone watch the Goldbergs?
I have seen it before, but I wouldn't say, like, I haven't seen it in a long time.
So I have become the mom. This is not who I always was. Maybe I was deep down, but I just encourage everyone to go watch the Goldbergs and watch the mother. They call her the smother, and that is who I've become. Because I just want to fix everything, and I want you to need me, and I'm going to fix everything. Anyway, so I wrote this really depressing song. I was just trying. I don't know if it was more for me or more for them. And I also don't remember how to play the bridge, so I might make it up as I go. But my soul just needs to sing this tonight. And that's why we do music, right?
That's right. Sing it, girl.
Okay. And not to keep harping on it, but if you would like to support my new album, which is right here, you can just go to my website. And I'm going to be shipping this out as soon as the first single drops on Spotify. So make sure you follow me there, too. Tim just said, women love trying to fix men. The natural nurse in them ends up being a natural disaster. I could see that, Tim. I don't necessarily disagree. I've tried to fix my share of men. Walking ghost, you lay down slow, too gone to know your bones, they show. Everybody knows that you're not ready. I'll hold your hand, baby, slow and steady. One small step and it's all over. Hope you know that you can get sober. Silent sleep, your dreams skin deep, bleeding love, too cold to touch. Everybody knows that you are fading, looking at a gravestone, contemplating one small step and it's all over. I hope you know that you can get sober. Don't wanna write it down, the thoughts that steal your crown, 'cause everybody knows that you are fading, looking at a gravestone, contemplating one small step and it's all over. I hope you know that you can get sober. Thank you.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
I can't believe you just wrote that and you sang it beautifully, perfectly. I love it too when someone shares a new song that they just wrote because there's so much emotion because it's so fresh. Like I felt that so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's hard. And, you know, I wonder if you battle with this too. Like, Eggberry Rally sent some flowers and hearts. And thank you.
Aw.
Thank you, Dawn. You know, so I'm coming from the folk music world where everything's really quiet and finger picky, right? And my dad used to say to me, no, play a toe tapper. No one wants to listen to that. Play a toe tapper. Keep them happy. And so that's always been this thing in my head. Like, I've always got to be happy and fast. I'm going to be happy and fast. Like music on cocaine. And so I always feel weird playing such depressing songs. But I want to just mention, because it's become so clear to me the past year trying to help this person with this, it's really important not to compliment people's weight and body. Like, there are so many other things we could compliment people on, and we never know what journey someone else is on. You never know why there's been weight loss or gain. And it's just so, like, even for me, you have to fight that urge to, when you see someone has lost weight, to say, oh, you look great. And so I'm just trying to encourage people to think twice and try to find a different compliment, because it makes it so hard for someone who's struggling. That's all. That's my soapbox.
And it's so hard because it's one of those things that feels like the right thing to say, because it's not like it's you're complimenting, you know, and it's just one of those things, like sometimes we have all the best intentions and it doesn't always land right, you know?
Yeah.
It's
And
so
I think, like, we're told by generations of culture that skinny and weight loss is like the goal. And so it's hard to get that out of our brains, but it just takes a couple more moments of thought, and then you can find something wonderful to compliment on a person.
So I had two things I wanted to say. One, I love the line. Like you said, that was a sad song, but I also felt a huge undertone of just support and love and encouragement. And I love the line, I hope you know that you can get sober.
Yeah.
And that just, I don't know, that just hit me. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's all about. You're like, come on, I want you to know.
Yeah.
I want you to love yourself. I want you to know that you can do this. I can only say it so many times, but you got to believe it yourself, you know?
Right.
So I love that line.
Thank you, because it's me, like, trying to hammer it in.
Yeah, no, it worked. Like, I got that, like, yeah, it was really beautiful. And
Thank you.
I also very much resonate with what you said about songwriting and like sad, or not even necessarily sad, but folky, more mellow's not the right word, but dreamy songs versus the foot tappers that your dad was talking about. Like, I feel that struggle all the time. It's so much more difficult for me to write a foot tapping, happy, like, hey, you could dance to this song, than it is to just like let my feelings out with my guitar.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm real good at a sappy song.
Yeah.
What do you got next, Katie Dobbins?
I don't know. I think I'm going to play. I told Grace before the show started, I sort of planned a set list, but I also was like, I feel like Grace and I will just play off each other, and I was right. But so I'm just sort of like taking your lead. I think I'm going to play what I hope is an encouraging song, too. This is a song called There's a Light. There's a light inside, and it shines. Yeah, it shines. There's a light inside, and it shines, yeah, it shines so bright. When the shades open in the morning and the rays come through the window glass, and you hide your head under the covers, 'cause you want the darkness to last just a little longer, just a little longer. But that light shining in the morning, you can tell it's not going nowhere. So you pull your squinty eyes up, blinded by this beautiful day. But not everybody's ready to wake up. Not everybody's ready for a cup. They don't really want to see anything but their own sheets. But do you? Why not do something? There's a light inside, and it shines. Yeah, it shines. There's a light inside, and it shines. Yeah, it shines so bright. But they don't really wanna see the light that's bursting at your seams. All you gotta do is tell me, do you wanna be something? 'Cause they don't wanna see the light. They don't know what's wrong from what's right. All you gotta do is tell me, do you wanna do something?
Wonderful. Katie, how many of the, I don't even know how many songs we've both played tonight, but of the ones you've played, are any of them available on Spotify?
What have I played? Yes, all 3 songs that I have played so far are available on Spotify or anywhere you like to stream music, and they're all on my last record, There Is Light.
Okay.
I'm just going to charge my computer because it's almost dead.
Yeah, do it. And Dan says your light shines, and I concur. So if you're all interested, in the description of this video, I put a link to my Virtual World Tour Spotify playlist. When I started doing this last September, I really wanted it to be a way that I could meet other artists and we could share each other with our audiences, but also try to build our Spotify presence, because as you may or may not know, we get like fractions of pennies per play. But what I've learned through promoting my new album, which you can buy on my website, is that if we can get to at least 500 followers on Spotify, it makes a difference in the algorithms to get us on playlists. So I don't know how many followers you have. It's not even listeners. It's just followers. You don't have to do anything besides click a button for us.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. So go to the Virtual World Tour Spotify playlist up there, and there's so many great artists, and I'm going to add Katie's music to it tomorrow, and you can listen to her, and you might find some more favorites. So listen.
Thanks.
Andrea Buckley from the boat race. Hello. Oh, my goodness. So, all right, quick segue. My new single that's coming out is called Small Town Lament. And my streaming promotion company said, put something together about small towns. And so my small town, every Memorial Day, does a boat race. You have to make your own boat. You make your own shirt. It's been going on since 1934. The whole town comes out. It's the coolest thing. So I was like half awake, went to the boat race, and like wore my Crocs and pink sweatpants per usual. And I was like dazed, thinking I wouldn't know anybody. And Andrea's like, "Hi, Grace. I tune into your live streams." And I'm like, oh, shit, why did I not dress nice? So, Andrea, thank you for being here. And please know that I'm sorry for my Crocs and sweatpants the other day.
Wait, I have questions. I have further questions about this boat race.
Yes.
So what do you make the boats out of?
They're pine board. There's a reason. Like, I think the race started, was, I believe, by my husband's family. And I think originally it was just like 2 guys just happened to make boats out of pine boards. And so that just became the thing.
Oh.
Anyone feel free to correct me. But it's just so cool. And like everyone falls in. And these are not like...
That sounds so fun. That's such a small town thing. I love that.
Super. And it's not a sit-in-it boat. Like they make like poles across it that you kind of kneel on. It does not look comfortable. If this was a kayaking situation, I might participate.
Don't you just love like being from a small town that does that kind of stuff?
I do. So I grew up in the next town over, which is like a population of 20,000, if I'm being conservative. I thought I lived in a small town. And then I married my husband and moved the next town over, and it's like 2,000 people. And, having my husband's last name, everybody knows us. They go, "Oh, you're a Hartley," and like my husband, it's really cool.
I hope that's a good thing.
Well, it's funny because sometimes around here, it's convenient for me to say that my last name is Morrison. Like in my hometown, that's convenient. People know who I am. But in Rochester, if I want to get things done, I have to say Hartley.
That's so funny. The name carries power. I love that. That's good. You have a good name.
Which is why I should know, Katie, that I should not be out in my stupid purple Crocs and pink sweatpants. That's not a fashion statement anyone should make.
You should just be you.
That's me, then. That's me.
So our town, we have a little like lake community, and they do boat parades. So it's not. We don't make our own boats. We use the boats we have, but everybody decks out their boat to a certain theme, and like people wear costumes and decorate the boat to whatever the theme is. And so it reminded me of that when you said that. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what it's like to have roots in a small town.
I love it. It's so cool. And especially
I always watch it and I'm like, only in this town.
yeah. And especially like, so my father-in-law is a selectman here in town, and I helped him with his campaign to run for selectman. And what I learned is that like there's so many beautiful, wonderful things about small town living, but one of the things that is difficult is that you can't get away with jack shit. Like people, and so and like politics in a small town. It's a whole thing. This is me segueing. Thank you, Andrea, for giving me the segue into this song.
Also, hi everybody. I'm just seeing I'm seeing a lot of names I don't know and a lot of names that I do know, and I just want to say hi.
Yeah, isn't this so cool? It's like we've all found a way to make community on the internet. I love it. It's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's I had a martini, you know. So this is a song I wrote kind of about the Crocs and the small town political race because you just like I really thought that the masks would give some level of anonymity. But they don't. People still knew it was me, like everywhere I went, and I was like, I can't get away with anything. So this song is just about like you gotta smile at everybody in your small town because everybody knows everybody, and you can't be rude. Okay.
Because you, Grace, would be rude otherwise. Like I don't.
That's good. I try really hard not to be, but I'm rude to the fashion police. Okay. Oh my God, I'm really not kidding. The purple Crocs are down there on the floor. They're so comfortable. So this song will be coming out on all streaming platforms on June 18th, and I'm super excited. We're going to be launching a contest. You can win some stuff that's available on my website, like my mugs. I'm going to put the link back up to remind you. You can go check that out. I've got mugs. I've got really cool goat milk soap and beanies and stuff. So anyway, we're going to be launching this competition. Tired of living in a small town, in the woods by the sea. I do one tiny little thing, and everybody knows me. So I smile at the man at the diner, I smile at the lady downtown. I do one tiny little thing, word gets around. Sometimes I go drinking, I never go too far. No, I'm not thinking when I get back in my car. I breathe in deep and lustful, I breathe in 'cause it's good, I breathe in 'cause it's legal, and I think everybody should.
That was a foot tapper.
Yes. Yes, I was going for the tap. Thank you for noticing.
Yes, that was so good. I loved it. And being from a small town, I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, you can't get away with anything. And you have the electric guitar.
I do. I was like, while you were playing, I'm like, what am I going to play next? Trying to think ahead.
Dan just said, good news is I live in a small town. Bad news is I live in a small town. Yeah,
Right.
that sums it up. May I please use that quote in all promotional material? Because that's basically, that is it. Thank you, Andrea. So,
do you like Kelsey Ballerini?
you know, I have not dug in.
Because she just released a new song with,
Thank you, Ken.
I'm going to get it wrong, but called Hometown. And it's like basically half of my heart will always be in my hometown.
Yeah.
It's nice. I think you might like it. I don't know.
I'm going to have to listen. So I'm going to let you do your song. It just reminded me, like, I am a bad music listener. And I've tried to be better. And, like, the only time I really have for music listening is when I work out. Because the rest of the time, it's my son wanting to listen to 5 Little Monkeys jumping on the bed. That's the rest of the day. So when I work out for a long time, I was listening to the hip-hop workout playlist. I learned some neat terms in those hip-hop jams while I worked out. Anyway, so I... and it's Savano's listening. We're being streamed in Arizona right now. We're in Oregon.
Cool.
We're all
Well,
over
it
the
is
place.
your world tour.
Right? It's a world tour. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I recently have segued to the country workout playlist because I just found myself using some of the terms from the gangster rap and maybe not using them appropriately. So I thought, but there's some really great songs on there. I'd been missing out. And I think Kelsey Ballerini is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go
she's great. I really like
investigate.
her. I turned my mic up a little bit, so let me know if it's too loud or if
Good,
it
yes, and
sounds
thank
weird.
you. Because we're on Twitch, too, right now.
Ooh,
And
fancy.
Eggberry Rally suggested that. Did you see that comment?
I did. So
Okay, cool.
hopefully this is a little bit better. I don't know. Yes.
I'm excited about your electric guitar.
Yes, and I was going to say something else, but then I spaced it. But
Thank you, Eggberry Rally, for hanging out with us. We do this every Monday. Love to see you again.
yeah, thanks for hanging out. So first of all, thank you again, Grace, for having me. This is so much fun.
My honor.
I've been doing live streaming mostly with the exception of, I think, once, mostly just by myself, which is still really fun because I have great people that always tune in and make it fun in the chat and everything. But it's just a totally different, it's fun in a totally different way when I get to like talk to you and go back and forth and just get to know you. And so I'm having so much fun. I hope that maybe we'll be friends.
I think we are. I think we are friends
I just
now.
publicly asked you so that you had to say yes.
Can I tell you a secret about me, Katie Dobbins? You just made I'm going to cry. When I was a little kid, all I wanted was friends. Like, that sounds so depressing and sad, but like I would watch movies like Now and Then, and it was all about these girls that were just friends forever. And I was like, oh, if only I lived in the 70s, I'd have friends. And that was like the thing in my life. Like I never felt like I clicked with somebody, but I just feel like I'm clicking with you. I would love to be your friend.
I would love to be your friend.
Let's pursue this.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm truly having so much fun. And thanks to everyone who's tuning in. And thanks, John, for talking about both of us to each other. Because Grace has been on my radar for a long time, and I'm just now finally meeting her. So when Grace, you were talking about Spotify, and so I thought I would play my upcoming single. I have a single coming out on June 25th. And this is a song that I produced just here in my home studio with the intention of it just being a Patreon song for members of the Starlight Lounge. And then I really liked how it came out. And I was like, maybe, I don't know, like, could this be good enough to put on Spotify? I'm not sure, because it's the first time I've done all the like producery stuff and the tech stuff in the background and whatnot. So anyway, so I sent it to John Shea, who is host of the Almost Famous radio show and podcast from WATD, who I've known for years. I know Grace has known him for years too, and he has been so supportive. But so I sent him the song, and I'm like, what do you think? Do you think, like, tell it to me real, do you think this could ever be played on the radio or anything? Or is the production very elementary because I did it myself? And he really liked it, and he played it on the radio a couple of times, and so I'm super stoked about it. It'll be the second song that I've produced and put out on Spotify. It's coming out June 25th. And like Grace said, you can follow both of us on Spotify. I didn't know about the 500 follower thing. That's cool. But yeah, you can find me on Spotify at Katie Dobbins. And then if you follow me, you'll get this song right when it comes out, which will be cool. And you can tell me what you think. It's called Starlights. When the night is dark and quiet, I look up and see you smiling. Your eyes remind me that we're still shining. No matter where life takes us, we'll be fine. 'Cause we are starlights, shining from the inside, keeping dreams alive. We are starlights. When my light is dimmed and fading, you speak to my heart, reminding me that even a little bit of glitter can be enough to light up the whole sky. 'Cause we are starlights, shining from the inside, keeping dreams alive. We are starlights. We are starlights. So gather all you hungry hearts, let's come alive tonight. All we need's a lot of love and a little bit of light. I get a whole lot brighter when I feel your hands in mine. Join us in the open sky where all of us can shine. 'Cause we are starlights, shining from the inside, keeping dreams alive. We are starlights. We are starlights. We are starlights. We are starlights. We are starlight.
I loved that. That was so beautiful. See, you were just the most uplifting human. I just want to be around you.
That's so nice. I try to be uplifting.
Rather me, I'm just like, let me write it down or
I have a lot of sad songs, but I woke up today wanting to play not those. Sometimes I'm like, tonight is all sad songs. And sometimes I'm like, tonight is all happiness.
Feel my soul.
Yeah.
That's such an important, just like, I think people need to hear that, you know, that we are all these magical beings. Is that the basic message you're trying to convey with that song?
Yeah, so that song really, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I write a song and I'm like, I don't know what it means, but I do know what it means. I mean, yes, we are all connected. We are all shining. We all have light. And also, like, I've just found really beautiful community this year during a time where it was hard to find community. And so part of it is just about that. And like, we shine brighter together. And then there's also, like, I think we power each other. So there's that line, I feel a whole lot brighter when I feel your hand in mine. Because
Dan knows that line.
Yes, because like energy is palpable. It's contagious. Smiles are contagious. Sadness is contagious, right? Like you can pick up on someone's energy, and so when you're together, it's so powerful. And even though I haven't been able to be together with many people this past year, I've been together in a different way, and it's really just like filled my soul. So
Yeah.
there's that. And I've also, when I was writing it, during parts of it, I was thinking about people who have passed on before and, who've come before me. And I was thinking, but we're all connected to the same sky still. And like, I still feel them here with me sometimes. And so just like the magic that are human beings and just like the universe. I don't know. Does that make sense?
You're making me cry. Happy. It's okay. You're making me cry. One thing that's fascinating, and I wonder if anyone watching can speak to this, is that I used to be an easy crier, Katie Dobbins. Like, it didn't take much. And now that I'm a mom, it's just like, I thought that it was just like when I first had my son that it would go away. But that is not so. Like, it just like weeps so easily. But
I was going to say, I would think that you would get more. I'm not a mom, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I would think that you would get like more crying.
Yeah. And I think it's because, I was so connected to my people that have passed on. That's what I was connecting with what you were just saying. And like, I just want my son to feel connected to them. And sometimes I feel so strongly that they're there with me. And that he can feel that connection if I keep talking about him. So what a beautiful song.
I just don't like, there's so much to a human being, right? Like our souls are so alive, and I just don't believe that like when you're gone, all of that is just gone. I just can't. I'm like, no, we are energy. Anyway.
Yeah. Can I tell you my ghost story?
Yes.
It's not a creepy ghost story, and you can all think I'm wackadoo. That's fine. But I sometimes have very vivid dreams, and there are two people that I've dreamt about, and it's so vivid. It's like they're there, my dad and my grandma. And in these dreams, it's only happened like 3 times total, but it's like their face is right there. I can see every single detail, and we talk. And the first time that ever happened, but now my grandmother died when I was 3. And so a few years back, I was teaching full time. I taught private lessons, and I had a vivid dream of my grandmother. Like I woke up mid-conversation with her. And I drove to work, and my very first student was this woman who walked in. And I never talked to her about this, never, ever, ever. The first thing she said to me, she said, "Grace, is your grandmother alive?" And I was really taken aback.
Gosh.
And I said, well, one of them, why? She said, because your dad's mother was like coming talking to me when I was on the way here. She's been trying to communicate with you. Did you know that? On the day that I had woken up from that vivid dream. It was
That is so
wild.
cool.
It was
I want to say that's
wild.
weird. I want to be like, oh, that's weird, but I don't think it's weird. I think we just don't
Wild.
I think sometimes we just don't notice all the magic that's happening around us, but it's not weird, Like,
Yeah, no, it was.
that's wild, though.
It was
yeah.
validating. So
Yeah.
So when I've had one dream like that with my dad, and it's different than any other dream I had had. It's like a distinct way that he looked and my grandmother looked in those dreams, and it was comforting. The
other thing I love about what you said, yes, comforting, and also you said your grandmother passed when you were 3, and then before that you had said that you hope that your son feels connected to people who have passed on, who maybe haven't been around for obviously as long as you would have wanted them to be in his life. But like if you feel that connected to your grandmother, who you lost when you were 3, that must just give you so much hope. Like, he can definitely feel connected to. I mean, I like all those people that, came before and impacted who you are and therefore who he is. And I love thinking about just generations and generational impact and all of that.
There's somebody said something, this is not uplifting at all. It was something about trauma, like that it's generational trauma is a thing. Like something happens to a grandparent and the effects of it trickle down. And there's got to be the same thing in a positive way. There's got to be. And it's funny, my son, like his grandfather that's alive, he calls Papa. He doesn't have anybody he calls Grandpa. And he sometimes says, Grandpa. I was like, oh, where did you get that from, son? Who are you seeing?
Yeah, love that. That's awesome.
So I'm going to play a song about getting drunk. I think that's appropriate.
Perfect.
After this conversation. Oh, hot damn. So I'm in a songwriting group, and we get a prompt every week, and the one we had gotten was sloppy, and I remember seeing it thinking, ew, I will never put that in a song ever. That's so gross. But then I did, and it was just, got me, I was thinking about my 20s, how my nephew's the same age as me, and we used to go out to the local bar in town, because they had Taco Tuesdays. For $10, you'd get a pitcher of margarita and like 3 tacos and rice and karaoke. It was a whole thing. And we used to go out every Tuesday and do this, and those were some nights, Katie. Those were some nights. Not saying I'm proud of them, but it was a time. So, oopsie, I'm trying to hit the button here. So this is a song called Sloppy that was a last-minute addition to my album that you can pre-order on my website. We had completely recorded the whole record, and then I wrote this sloppy song, and we had to add it because I liked it a lot. I can't face it no more. No familiar feet walking through the door. Wall away. What's it gonna take to make this bird sing? Lately I've been holding on to certain vices. And sometimes I get sloppy when no one's there to stop me. I take the bottle off the shelf. What am I doing to myself? You drive me like a stone. I can feel it echo in the bone. Rich like wine, I pretend that everything is fine. But lately I've been holding on to certain vices. And sometimes I get sloppy when no one's there to stop me. Oh, I'll take the bottle off the shelf. What am I doing to myself? Out below me, hear a million voices that just wanna show me hiding no hope, ain't no way to turn it around. Burying the bottle, believe life keeps going, forgetting the fear as it comes every morning. 'Cause I have wings and I get sloppy when no one's there to stop me. Oh, I take the bottle off the shelf. What am I doing to myself?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So good. Another foot stomper.
Yes, that's what I was going for. I wanted like a country boy band
You nailed
combination.
Yeah.
Thank
it.
you.
But still being true to your sound. Yeah, you nailed it.
Thank you, Katie Dobbins.
Love that. And you successfully put sloppy in a song.
I am so proud that I did that without using the word Joe also, because that was the way I was originally going to go. Was like, write a song about sloppy Joes. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, that was awesome. So how were other people's songs? Like, was sloppy, was that word actually in every song?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Definitely not the title. I think it was more like one was about a messy bedroom. You know, but I don't know that anyone, that they all embraced that word. It's a weird word, right?
It's a weird word, and it's also not a very singable word. But you sang it, like you made it work. But I was thinking, how would I make that work in a song? So interesting. But that's
I love a pretty word.
But that's really cool. Like that group sounds really cool. I love being challenged to write things. Like you probably never would have written that song.
Never ever.
If somebody didn't say the prompt is sloppy.
Yeah, no, half this record is because of that. Have you ever done that? Been in a songwriting group with prompts?
I've been in a songwriting group where we bring pieces of songs and kind of just like talk about it with each other. I don't want to say a song critiquing group, but that's sort of what it was, but that sounds negative and it wasn't negative. But I have a page on Instagram called Songwriter Roundup that used to be for shows I did, and then lately, because I haven't been able to do the in-person shows, I've been doing occasional writing prompts that way, and then sometimes people will submit prompts, and so I've written a couple songs out of that. And yeah, I wrote like 2 songs that I really love that I wrote this year were just because somebody said, oh, the prompt is glow. And so I wrote a song called Living in the Glow, or like, oh, so yeah, it's really cool. Cause then I'm like, oh my God, I literally would have never written this song without you. Should I give you a writing credit?
Yes. I feel the same way. Well, I credited the whole group in here because I'm like, this would not exist if it weren't for that group.
That is so cool.
But it's also neat because I didn't think I could do that. Like for the longest time, didn't think I could write with another person. And then I did my co-write on this record. And then I didn't think I could do a prompt thing. Like I always thought writing songs was like, I just do it when I feel the muse.
Yes, that's how I've always been too until recently. And I've been trying to challenge myself to get past that because I think the songs you write become so much more broad when you just stop only writing about what you're inspired by that day. At least that's what I found.
And I will tell you, so I do not like name dropping, but I think this is important advice. So I got to co-write with Lori McKenna because we wrote a song for my album. And I said to her, I just got this advice from a songwriting workshop that said you just have to wait for the creative window to open and then write your song. And she essentially kind of said, that's malarkey. Like, no, you show up and write because you're a writer. And that flipped the switch for me. I'm like, okay, I can write a song. They don't all have to be great, but you have to keep writing. And so anyway.
And so I knew you wrote a song with Lori, and I think that's amazing because I love her, and like that just must have been such a cool experience. Like that's so incredible that you got to get any wisdom from her. Like that's so cool.
She's so generous.
That's amazing. Are you still in touch with her?
Only about the song. Because I try, like, I didn't want to hound her.
You're like, wait, I have this connection, but
yeah. So I sent her the song once it was finished recording, and we chatted about that. And I'm sure once the video for that song is done that she'll share it. But we're not like...
She seems very down. I've never met her, but I've seen her perform, and I follow her, and she seems so down to earth and just
100%.
Really nice.
That stage thing is what she was with me. So cool. Cool. And I went in like I was 8 months pregnant and terrified. And I was like just trying to be cool. Like not to be like, oh my God, Lori McKenna, can I look at your Grammy? Like that was where they really
I know. Like that's such an interesting situation to navigate.
Well, she had a Roomba. And so that was my jumping off point, was to talk about my Roomba and her Roomba. We had a whole half hour about vacuum cleaners. And that really helped. I highly recommend that. If you ever meet a really cool person, just talk vacuums to break the ice.
Talk about something normal. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And the other, like her son popped in, and it was when that terrible Sherlock Holmes movie came out. With Will Ferrell. Did you see that movie?
I don't think so.
Don't. It was an awful, awful movie. And her son came in and was like, I'm going to go see this movie. And I was like, no, let me save you, Lori McKenna's son, from this awful movie. Anyway, I tried to be a hero.
That's amazing.
We have 10 minutes left. And I feel like we can get 2 more songs in.
Cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it. What do you got for us?
Let's do it. I'm going to play a song I have 2 albums out right now. On Spotify or wherever you like to stream music.
How about here? Can they see it here?
Yes. If you go to my website, you'll find all the links to all the things. Thanks, Grace. But this song that I'm going to play is actually on both records because it's like two different versions. We recorded it a little bit poppy on the first record, and then for the second one, we went with kind of speakeasy, a little bit more sultry. So you can pick your poison, I guess. But this is a song called Bring on the Fire. Sorry. They said, when will you learn? If you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt. But if you don't, you may never feel the heat at all. I'd rather burn alive than be too afraid to fall. Bring on the fire. There was a rebel of a man down in Tennessee, was told only whites drink this tap for free. He sat down, poured a glass anyway. In court a week later, he was shackled in chains. Said, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Drink that water till my dying day. And they said, when will you learn? If you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt. But if you don't, you may never feel the heat at all. I'd rather burn alive than be too afraid to fall. Bring on the fire. She loved him with all of her might, didn't care that her skin was white. They got married in the hot summer sun. They thought she was crazy, losing her mind, but she kept her heels and her head held high. Said that love was worth her life. When will we learn? When will we learn? When will we learn? When will we learn? It's not about glory, it's not about fight. I wanna do something with meaning tonight, but there's fear in our hearts from these words in our minds. To overcome that, we need one hell of a fire. And they'll say, when will you learn? If you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt. If you don't, you may never feel the heat at all. I'd rather burn alive than be too afraid to fall. I don't wanna be too afraid to fall. I don't wanna be too afraid to fall. I don't wanna be too afraid to fall. Yeah, bring on the fire. Yeah, bring on the fire. Yeah, bring on the fire. Yeah, bring on the fire.
Bravo! That was badass. I liked that tune.
Ah, thanks, girl.
What was the inspiration?
That had a lot of different inspiration. I actually wrote that song over the course of like 10 years. I don't know if you have any songs like that, but It started about one thing, and it was about, first it was kind of a song that's like, someone I know, like, messed up knowingly. They were like, oh, I messed up, like, and now all this stuff happened as a result. And we were kind of like, well, you know what they say, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. So first it was kind of a song like that, like, hey, actions have consequences. And then it didn't groove with me. I never felt like I was done with it. So I revisited it years later, and then ended up kind of, switching it around and I guess moving it or changing the theme a little bit so that it was more about taking risks and like, no, playing with fire maybe is a good thing. I mean, not always. I played it at a jail once and I was like, wait,
no, you played it at a jail? You just said that so casually.
I did. I played it. I did this like music thing to bring music to inmates it was supposed to encourage good behavior because you earned going to these concerts. And I played and I was like, this song's about taking risks. And they were all like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
Was that a scary gig?
No, my dad came with me. No, it wasn't just me. It was like a bunch of musicians and so it was an event. It was very safe. Like they had all these, it was very safe. But anyway, so it became more about taking risks. And then I finally finished it even a couple years after that. So do you have any songs like that literally just kept sort of like changing and evolving over the years?
No. So when I write a song, I don't leave until it's done. And there's one song I wrote and I completed it. It wasn't great, but like there's parts of it that still get stuck in my head, and I often think, oh, I should revisit that and try to make it a good song. Then I never do because the new ideas come in and
and it's challenging too sometimes to change a song that you've started.
Yes,
it can be
so hard.
It's been a good exercise. Like sometimes I end up really liking a song that before I was just kind of meh about. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to do sometimes, but it's definitely weird.
Yeah, the whole revisit. I was talking about that earlier.
Also, thank you, Ken.
Ken is awesome. Ken, what's the number? How many days in a row have you been running now, including marathons and 5Ks? How many days in a row? Last time I checked, it was many hundreds of days he has run in a row.
I'm so impressed with anyone who runs at all.
I know. I hate it.
I tried a little bit, and I'm like, wait, my whole body. What? Mm-hmm. I'm breaking.
No, see, I love CrossFit, and I love CrossFit because my workout is 15 minutes long, and then I'm done, and I can eat whatever I want. With
that
running,
sounds like my kind of workout.
Yeah, with running, it's like every step I just think, okay, ice cream. I'm getting ice cream. Like, I can't.
Whenever I run, I'm like, is it over? Like, how much longer?
Yes, that's what I mean. Oh, my friend Tim said triathlons are fun, too. Good heavens. Ken has been running 416 days in a row, y'all. Ken has run 416 days in a row. That includes marathons. No rest days. You are a beast.
Does Ken live in New England? Like, is this seasonal?
Texas.
Like, throughout all the seasons? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but throughout the seasons because there was snow.
But I guess Texas, they're actually, Texas gets cold, too.
My friend Tim says, this is where I bring up Tae-Bo. He's making fun of me because the first exercise I ever did in my life was in 10th grade, and I had a Tae-Bo cassette tape, like a VHS tape. And I did
that's awesome.
Tae-Bo every morning before school.
Wow, that's really committed of you. That reminds me of gym class. I feel like they were always putting cassette tapes in the VHS whenever we had a sub or something. We're supposed to do Pilates or something to these 80s cassettes.
Oh, that's a nicer gym class. They made me do sports. I am not a sporter.
That's so traumatic. Like, you just brought me right back to picking teams in gym class and being like, I don't even want to play.
So, yes. So, the Goldbergs, the show I mentioned earlier, has a myriad episodes about this very topic. But yes, nobody wanted me on their team, so no one would pick me on their team, right?
And you're like, I don't want to be on your team. I don't want to be on any team.
Yes. The best day of my whole life in elementary school was the day no one picked me from their team, and the gym teacher didn't make me do the relay race. Like, normal kids would have been so sad that no one picked me. I was like, yes, I will pick flowers on this hill. Yes.
That's amazing. Did you see Dan's comment? I've walked every day for over 60 years, not wanting to brag.
Can take amazing. That. Every day for 60 years, Dan has walked. I don't know if you can match that. Oh, my goodness gracious. So I was going to do a different song for my last song here. But there's a line in this song, which is, I'd rather, what do I say? I can't remember the lyrics unless I sing the song.
Sing it.
I'll just sing the song. It's on my new CD, which I may or may not have mentioned. You can pre-order on my website, and it would help me out tremendously. I'm trying to raise $20,000 to pay for my promotional efforts. I'm 24% of the way there. There's all kinds of really cool stuff that my friends made me on my website.
I was gonna say you have a lot of like cool giveaways that look amazing.
Oh, the mugs and the soap.
Yes,
and
the mugs.
there's
I'm
a new
obsessed with
one.
the mugs.
Oh my,
I'm
the mugs are
obsessed.
so good. And I have a new thing I haven't added yet. My friend made me custom watermelon lip gloss.
Oh, that's so nice. You have really
Yeah.
talented friends.
Seriously. Okay, so only playing this because of you, Katie. This is a love song that I wrote for my husband. And I won't make you. I always feel awkward when people watch me listen to someone else. I won't make you be on the screen while I. But so my husband and I, when we met, Ken says that Dan has beaten his record by walking every day for 60 years. So right on. So my husband and I met because my mom saved everything I ever owned, and there was a time where I'm like, okay, I cannot move all this stuff into my new house. My new house is too tiny. And so I had to do something with all this stuff. And so we had bonfires every night, and we would look at the stuff and appreciate the school lunch menu from 1991, and then we burned it. We burned a lot of things that we shouldn't have burned. If you burn an old Nextel phone, it will explode. Just a side note, take the battery out first. Anyway, and this was all over the course of a summer, and it was just like, we were in that awkward stage of our relationship where I didn't know if he liked me, and he didn't know if I liked him, but like you could feel that like electricity in the air, you know? And then add a bonfire, and you got magic. Something about a summer night spent talking, just talking. Something in your summer eyes I'm liking. I've been a lone star as long as I've been here, but you offer up a glass that I can bear, and it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. Sitting around this summer fire, we're drinking, just drinking. I'd like to ask you all the things you're thinking, but what am I thinking? I've been a lone star as long as I've been here, but you offer up a glass that I can bear, and it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star, this lone star. Help me, I'm burning up. I don't wanna give it up. Help me, I'm burning up for you. Something about the way you look at me smiling. What are you hiding? 'Cause it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill you.
I really loved that. I loved that so much.
Thank you. And you know Lisa Bastoni?
Yes,
know?
I've never met her, but I know who she is.
So cool. You would love her. She is hand painting a lyric video for that. You've all got to check out Lisa Bastoni's YouTube page. She just makes the most gorgeous hand-painted lyric videos. I am just super pumped that you all hung out with me tonight when I got to meet Katie Dobbins, my new friend.
Yay.
I'm like going to hold you to that. You're going to be my friend now.
You're going to be my friend.
Deal.
Shake on it.
Yes, shaking. Everybody,
How do you
please-
make friends these days? Is there a contract or no?
I think so. I'll send you a contract.
Okay.
A PDF. Everybody, please go check out katieDobbinsmusic.com. She's got links to all of her stuff on there. But if for some reason you just want us to like straight up go to her stuff, you can go like her Facebook page. And
Thank you so
can
much,
become-
Grace.
You can
And thanks,
become
everyone,
a
for hanging out.
patron. Do those things. And I'll mention mine too. You could like my Facebook page. And you can go to my website. And you can tip us. I didn't mention that at all. But you can. Because we're full-time musicians. And that's the way we make some bucks. But really, honestly, if you don't have money to give, we understand. We get it. But just following us on the socials, following us on Spotify makes a huge difference. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
There's more comments. My friend Tim said we need an audience applause track. I should get an audience applause track. Katie, do you know how to do that?
No, but I feel like we could figure it out.
Okay, we're on
we're
it, Tim.
tech savvy. Look
We
at
are
this.
so tech savvy. We're on the internet right now. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.